Two Pints in a Corner is a music history podcast about the Channel Club in Boston, Mass. Dinky Dawson and Tony Raine are your hosts. They interview channel performers and workers, bringing out stories and memories of the great music and events that came through this iconic South Boston venue. Welcome to Two Pints in a Corner with Tony Raine and Dinky Dawson. Tony is still out, recovering from a major stroke and stuff, but he's doing well, and it's just a matter of getting him back onto the mind so they can chat with everybody. And today we have Sean McNally as the guest interviewer with Robert Harris Oral and David Stefani.
Hello.
There is Robert. There's Bob. And
Hey, how you doing? All right, can I get to my first complaint?
yes, we're going to talk about the channel, and Bob's got a definite complaint. Let's go.
All right, here's my first complaint. We didn't play there enough times.
Yeah, I know. You only, I tell you this. I was looking through the listing, and I'm thinking the same thing. You only played there in 1980 when it opened, and that was what was that? That was August 21st, 1980, and you opened.
Yeah, that was that first time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then January 15th, 1983 with Face to Face.
Oh, wait a minute. Now this is good. This is better than I thought. I don't have 83 in my list.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but here's what you don't have. We did play. There are 4 other dates. In
Under
October of 80. Yeah.
Is Robert Harris Earl?
Yes, October of 80. We opened for the Modettes.
Oh, wow. That's a while ago. Oh, yeah.
October 5th, 1980. Then we were another opener along with Arthur Slick and the Nice Girls for Human Sexual Response on January 3rd, 1981.
Okay. Way back. Now, was it called, before it was called, it was the Mad Hatter you played on the 80s, right?
No. This was the channel.
So it was already changed over.
I'm chiming in.
Oh, yeah, always the channel. Sure. Yeah, I remember the first time we walked in the doors. But then, get this one, April 17th, 1981, we co-headlined with Jules Holland.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Wow.
That's the Sonics were the opener. And then finally, the last one I had in my list was October of 1982, the 29th. We co-headlined with Iron City House Rockers.
Oh, wow.
Johnny Barnes was the opener.
Johnny.
And then, and then Dinky, I didn't have Face to Face, which is so funny because I talked to Angelo Petraglia, who wrote all the songs for those guys.
Yeah.
And he was reminding me that that Face to Face filmed one of their videos or all the live performance stuff for Under the Gun at the channel.
Yeah.
For their video for that. Yeah.
That's right. In fact, we're trying to get we're trying something to call with the Face to Face crew. I've been talking with John Ryder, trying to get Laurie on board and Angelo as well. That'd be great. So that's a cool bill though, for sure. You guys in Face to Face, that's a great one.
Yeah. And I knew Angelo from 79. I'd known him because I was standing in a circle of people around a campfire up at Henniker College in New Hampshire.
Oh.
And this guy tapped me on the shoulder and handed me a joint and said, "You want some of this?" And I took it from him, and he goes, and I took a hit, and he goes, "Angelo." And I said, "I'm Robert." And we've been friends ever since.
No, that's the way to do it.
That's all you needed back then.
Yeah, really, exactly. You didn't need a pint or anything. You just needed a good old spliff. And
Oh, there was some pints going around too. Or as one of my British friends, Ben Jones, would say, we had a couple tins.
Yeah, oh yeah, a couple of tins. I haven't heard that one for a while. I like that one. No, but let's go back to your youth was in Sudbury. And
oh, not me. No, I was I grew up in Linfield, Massachusetts.
In Linfield.
Yeah, and so did Kook, my guitar player.
Wow.
And Don, our bass player, went to Linfield High School. That's where we became friends. And the only outlier is the guy that we're still waiting to hear from. David, chime in. How did you find us? David Stefani, everybody.
Well, first of all of you are fantastic, and thank you for having me here. Yes, I was Robert's drummer back in those days. I got an audition. I was a couple of years younger, and I had just seen him at a local nightclub called Jasper's. He was there on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
I was one of the three other people there. And,
Yeah.
and I said,
That's
"Oh my
about
God, like I'm like I'm playing all this hard rock with my high school band with him, and I go like, this guy knows how to write songs, huh?" So anyway, yes, I actually thank you, Bobby Brandon from Luna, for connecting me with Robert. I was just young. I grew up in the 70s. In 1978, I was 18. So that gives you a kind of a whereabouts where I am here. But I got to audition with Robert and be in his band. I was like 20 or 21, like 1980, I think it was. And I don't know. Do you guys want me to continue with my channel stuff, or do you want me to wait?
Well,
Oh no, sorry, we can chime in whenever.
yeah,
Whatever
really. It was a conversation.
Okay,
This
I
is
want you
not
guys
just...
I want you guys to put your feet up and chill back and let everyone know it's going to take a while. No, I'll be as quick as possible. When I grew up in the 80s, in the late 70s, like that, I had just missed like Paul's Mall, Psychedelic Supermarket, and the
Tea Party.
great Mecca, Boston Tea Party. And what's funny, in Somerville, I was like in just like a local band, but we knew all of this, and we were all like, us younger guys were wishing we could go to these clubs, but it never happened. So after when I got to fortunately be playing with Robert and his band, and we got some success, etc., the channel appeared, and the channel was to us like a concert club. It wasn't like some of the other ones that I was used to anyway at that time. So it was a big deal playing at the channel, and we loved it.
Oh yeah. And I this is a weird thing. It's like, first off, we didn't play there enough. I'm going to emphasize that. Secondly, the very first gig we had, we were the headliner, and New Models and Telephones were the opener. And then
That's right. That's right.
And then I don't remember the Modettes. I should have looked them up because I don't remember what kind of band that was. We opened for them, 2 months later. Does anyone remember that, Modette?
Oh, yes. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And the thing about the channel was, it was like, I don't know, it was like being at the Orpheum Theater, but it was this giant rock club, and it was located in such a perfect spot, right on the water. We would go down there in the south of Boston, get down there. It was just so wonderful. I remember so many people, so many friendships I created back then, and I was just a young guy. I was just barely be able to get into these clubs, and the channel really was my Boston Tea Party. And I remember such people like, there was a Southern gent named Rocky who used to be a sound engineer there.
Yeah.
And we became friends. But I have a quick story if I could share this with you guys. So the channel stage was like Mecca. It was like you were there. You saw everybody, John Butcher, Access, everyone, Face to Face, Luna, everyone. Tons of national acts. Like Robert said, we opened for Jules Holland, which was a great gig. But it had this stage, and then it had this drum riser, and I'm the drummer. And I remember setting up one gig, and it was everyone was just, I don't know if it was the Jules Holland one or another, but with Robert's band, we were like in the era of Elvis Costello, Nick Lowe, Power Pop, Fast, Go. And I dressed, I had short hair, finally, and like sort of an Izod shirt that was like not really a lot of cotton. There was a lot of synthetic in it. And I remember we sat the drums up on the drum riser, and it was awfully close to the lighting tree that was just behind me. And this is back in the days pre-LED, where lamps were like you could cook hot dogs on them. I mean, it was like the stage was always a billion degrees. And I remember we went on and we were all psyched and we were playing, and I started getting really hot. Like my neck was getting really hot. And I'm up on that drum riser and I'm rocking. And I noticed that our light engineer, whoever was there at the channel, he was like, or she was full force on the lights. And I noticed that my shirt neck was feeling like it was getting tight around the collar.
Yeah.
My shirt started melting.
Yeah.
And this is the honest to God truth.
I believe it.
And that's my last memory of the channel.
I believe it. The 24 lights that the channel had were so close to everybody. The bass player would get the hair more frizzier than they already had, and stuff like that. And drummers would always get burned. The drum skins would tighten up, and then it would relax because they opened the back door and oh, well, what's going on here? My drums are telling me.
Fantastic, Dinky. Fantastic.
That big stage, by the way. I mean, so that was like a revelation, the big stage, because as David could tell you, like even if we were playing at the In Square Men's Bar, I had a 50-foot mic cord because I like to travel, and I could either jump out from the stage and go up and down the table out in front, that table that was bolted to the ground, or I could just go. I sometimes remember we'd have a line outdoors for people waiting to come in, and I'd be like, "No, really? To see us? Come on, I'm going to go see." And I would go out and sit on the sidewalk with my mic cord.
I love it. I love it.
Got to really prowl that stage. That was our introduction to the big stage.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Robert is responsible for a lot of 20-foot mic leads back in that time.
But that's the cool. That's part of the whole thing, is to portray yourself and be excited with the audience.
Absolutely.
And that's what you needed, is the feedback for your songs, the feedback for how you're performing and how you look and how you do the stuff. And wow, that was good. What did you do there? I mean, what's that other one? You know, especially when it's a young band coming up and what have you, and it was very exciting.
Right.
And then you honed your stuff in on that place because it was such a big cavern. You had to, and once you got that sorted out, anywhere else just was easy to do, I'm sure.
Right, and we ended up finding ourselves, and this is actually, I have a question for you, Dinky, because I wondered this, and now I think I've answered the question by looking some things up, but that prepared us for, like, you know, only a year later, 2 years after that, we opened for U2. We did 5 shows with U2. You know, that's a big stage.
Yeah.
But also the Worcester Centrum and the Providence Civic Center with the Kinks. Now, so my question was going to be, were you doing sound with the Kinks when we were playing with the Kinks? But I've answered the question. You were no longer. That was all the 70s stuff. And by the way,
72.
The reason I know that, look stuff up, and one of the things I found when I looked stuff up was that you wrote a book that I didn't know about, but I've already ordered it, so it's on its way to me now.
It's out of print. If you got it from Amazon, it's $105 bloody. I mean, I'm sorry, but yeah.
I know. No, I saw that, and I assume that's like some guy that has one copy that's trying to sell it. So I went on eBay, and I still paid a hefty $40 for it, but it's going to be well worth it.
Wow. In some places it was $9. You know, I mean, it's been out of print for a long time now because it was.
Yeah,
I did it in 1990. Yeah, well, what I've done is audio. I did an audio book. I'm having it redone, and that's what we're trying to negotiate right now after NAMM's. You know,
fantastic.
We had people at NAMM doing this, that, and the other. But it's the stories.
What's that?
It's the stories, because they, you know, all your stories. You know, you've got so many stories. I know Robert has going to Nashville and actually bringing an incredible part of New England to Nashville and creating in Nashville and creating and blowing them away. and absolutely saying, yeah, we need someone like you, and you give us a little spark in that time period, and it became a major spark. And
Hey, you know why the channel factors, the panel, Sean, Dinky, I know David knows this, but the channel factors into my going to Nashville, because when we lost our record deal in 1985,
okay,
which explains why we're not. I guess we're not playing at the channel in 1985, according to my list. But we were devastated. Like, what, we made 3 albums for RCA, and everything was going so fast and so exciting. And all of a sudden, the plug was pulled. And so around this time, I started thinking, well, I'm a songwriter. I only know how to do one thing. I can knock down a wall, but I can't build a new one back up. So I need to find a place where they're doing what I can do for them. Okay, so that was Nashville. And I knew that because I'd look at Billboard magazine and see that, oh, look at this, all country artists, they're not recording the songs they write. They're recording songs that writers write.
exactly.
I was so there, but I didn't know shit about country music. So I went to see Dwight Yoakam at the channel.
Oh, you saw him with the hat on and having a tough time with the damn monitors because he wanted more 15s. He wanted so many 15s. I'm saying he's going to be like Engelbert Humperdinck, deaf in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then, by the way, but it taught me. I saw this guy up there. He was cool. He had his hat pulled down over his eyes. He had this great old fiddle player up on stage with him. And I was like, this is country music? This is cool. I didn't know shit about country music. Then I saw Steve Earle.
What year was that again now, Robert, when you had it down by 85 or so?
Yeah, I went down in 87. And somewhere between 85 and 87 was when I haven't looked this up to see exact what the dates were, but that's when I would have seen Dwight Yoakam and Steve Earle, both at the channel. And then I saw Foster and Lloyd somewhere in Cambridge, and I was like, shit, this is cool stuff. So that's what took me down there.
Well, you've had quite the career, obviously. This has been kind of one of the cool things about these interviews we're doing with some of the Boston players from back in that era is so many of us still out there, which is awesome to see people still doing what they did way back then, still playing live, still doing live shows, still recording, still in the business, so to speak. So I know I want to go all over the place here, but you had obviously a big hit on the radio in '82, right, with Colleen Carr. I'm curious how that. I thought that was after you moved to Nashville. So tell me how that whole time frame worked. How you met up with her. How that all went down.
So the hit was on the Special Pain record, which was '82, '83, somewhere there, and Carleen came about because Roger Bacharian, who co-produced with Nick Lowe the first few Elvis Costello records, and then they did the Squeeze record with it on it. And, I mean, I wanted to work with this guy. I wanted to work with Nick Lowe. He was definitely not going to be available, but Roger was always by his side. And so I thought about Roger Bacharian. So David and Kook and Don and I went over to Rockfield Studios in Wales and made 2 records over there, in subsequent years. But the first one of those, Roger, I originally wrote I Couldn't Say No, the duet, I wanted to present it to Robin Lane and see if she would do a duet with me. I haven't told her that yet, so I hope she hears on the podcast. But
it still happening. Robin's still playing too. That'd be pretty awesome. Actually.
That would be awesome.
But then we were over there in England, and Roger said, Nick's wife, Carleen Carter. I was like, yeah, I love Carleen. I've seen her twice at the Paradise in Boston. I love Carleen. And I was like, what about doing it with her? And that's how that happened. And we did Carleen's vocal. We did Carleen's vocal in Nick Lowe's basement studio in London.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, it was
amazing.
It's incredible.
It's incredible because I'm saying to myself, it's got to be later because Tony Raine worked with Carleen, but that was in the 90s and stuff.
Yes,
and he took her all
absolutely.
over the place and whatever. But prior to that, the Reba McEntire connection, what happened there? That was earlier, right? That was 1980.
So Reba, she's just one of the, well, not just one of the closest. she was a pretty big person.
Yeah.
That was cut one of my songs. But over the years in Nashville, I didn't, I knew that songwriting was the only thing I could do, and I had no other choices, so I had to make it work. But in those years in Nashville, I got over 300 songs recorded by other people, and Reba, her song "What If It's You" is one of those songs. But once you get these songs recorded, you don't know what's going to happen, and what you hope is going to happen is it's going to be a single, because that's really what Money was, and then you hope it's going to be a hit single. That song with Reba was on her multi-platinum. It's the title song of her multi-platinum album, "What If It's You." And the cool thing though is that when Kook, Don, and David and I perform now, sprinkle in a couple songs the audience might know from place else, and that's one of the songs we do.
That's cool.
We do it in a different way than she did it, obviously.
That's cool. You've got to do the songs that you actually wrote, and then.
And as a matter of fact, on our new record that we put out this year, or last year, 2025, our album "Wrong Thing," we recorded "Crazier," which is a song I wrote with Taylor Swift for the movie Hannah Montana, the movie. So it's sung by Taylor Swift movie, but it's kind of like if Aerosmith did this song, like it wouldn't, we're not Aerosmith, but we did a rock version of it, a new album, and that's been a lot of fun. We do another song that Taylor and I wrote that's from her in our live set as well.
That's awesome. And obviously Taylor Swift is probably the biggest star in the world these days. I did want to get a little bit of that. I know you did the first couple of 3 albums you worked together with her on, Robert. How did you come across her? Because I remember she was very, very starting out young. But how did you kind of cross paths with her? How did that connection happen? And then obviously went on for a few records, so it was a good relationship, obviously.
It was, and here's another Boston/Channel connection. Taylor Swift right here. The first day I ever wrote with Taylor Swift was when Angelo from Face to Face, who played at least one New Year's Eve show at the channel.
At least once.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but Angelo called me up and said, "Hey, I got this 13-year-old girl coming over, and you got to come help me. Your daughter." Like, I was writing songs for my daughter's little band, and he's like, "You know how to write with a 13-year-old? I don't. Like, come over here and help me out." And I was, "Dude, I can't. I've got a writing appointment in an hour." And he said, "She's got a deal on RCA," and I was like, "I will be right there."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I went over to Angelo's and we waited and we started talking, and I said, "I think the most important thing when this girl comes is that we just have fun.
Yeah.
Even if we don't get the song, it should be fun, because she'll want to keep coming back writing with 2 old geezers like us, So she's 13 and we're at a combined age of about 108.
Yeah.
And she walked into that writing session and basically laid it down what she wanted to do. She says, hey guys, I'm Taylor. I want to write a song that's like country, but Avril Lavigne country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that first song we wrote is called "I'm Only Me When I'm With You." It's on the 11 million selling debut. And by the way, it's the original demo that Angelo and I produced that ended up on that record. It was never even re-recorded.
Wow, that's fantastic, because it's raw and real. The feeling was real. And
I don't think you could duplicate it.
No, the thing is with Nashville is that they're good at taking instruments such as a David snare. They hit that one snare, well, then they'll record it. Then they'll use it on another album, on somebody else, and this, that, and the other. Whereas when you come in there with a fresh spirit like you did with this young lady, it knocked them for senses. It knocked their senses out, and it changed that whole system. And
you're absolutely right. You're onto something.
You could see that coming because things changed.
You're onto something. Let me tell you, all the demos that I did, subsequent to that first thing with Angelo, we went in the studio. And then I wrote a ton of songs with her, and then I would take her into a friend that had a basement studio with indie rock musicians that were, they not studio guys. And all the demos that we did that led the people that came to see her at the Bluebird Cafe to see her, that were in the package that was delivered around to all the record labels, they were all done in someone's basement with a bunch of young indie musicians, and they definitely sounded very different from what was on country radio at the time. And I think that helped.
Is that Monkey Ball? Is that the Monkey Ball?
Well, that's even saying Monkey Ball. That's funny. Yeah, Monkey Ball was my attempt at. I started this record label, Infinity Cat, with my sons when they were 14 and 12, and they had a band, and they still have a band all these years later. Jeff the Brotherhood. They've got 14 albums out there on the streamers. But they wanted to start a record label, and I wanted to be on it. And they were like, "Dad, no, it's the kids. It's going to be for us."
Dad, no.
For us,
I love it.
It's going to be for us and our friends. Like, they had another band called The Sex, and they hated when I had a suggestion that they liked. But when they made their second album, The Sex second album, they didn't have a title, so I suggested "Wake Up and Smell the Parents."
That's a good one.
That became the title very reluctantly, only because, all right, yeah, that's a good one. But we started this record label, and I wanted to be on the record label, but I was too old to be, so I decided to just be anonymous and be a guy named Bob something that's in a band called Monkey Bowl, and made 3 Monkey Bowl records. So that's how that came.
That was one of my questions. That's amazing. Bob something. That's hysterical.
I love it. We like Kim Fowley changed his name so many times on records. It was wonderful.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, that's a cool one. You got some cool stories, David, too. David's got some good ones, too.
David's got a memory that I don't have. David, hit us with a...
Well, I've been listening here, and we'll have to sign some sort of document for me to reveal all the stories I have. That's for another episode.
It sounds...
Dinky and Sean, I just want to say it's awesome you have us on this show. It's fantastic. Both you boys made some really valid points about the music, profound, and we're lucky to have got to hang through all these years, and it ain't over yet, man.
No.
Oh, it's not.
It's not.
Hey, and
David, to that point, you're not like just a side piece here. You've been very active yourself. In playing with other bands. I mean, in fact, I saw you were Godsmack for a while. That's crazy to me how diverse of artists you've worked with. If you give us a little bit about your background as well, your history.
Oh, wow. Kind of you to ask. Well, first of all, it all started with me loving drums, got to do it as a teen. Thank you to my parents. But then
that's all the time we have for this story. But...
No, hold on. But then I met Robert Ellis Oral.
Okay, keep going.
I met, he likes that. Then I met Robert Ellis Oral, and I got to play with all different people.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really sad.
I got to record and sing live with Brad Delp, which was a challenge because of that voice. And then I got to play with the great Peter Wolf for a lot of years. Awesome. And then Sully from Godsmack, he has a alternative band, which is more like world drumming, and I got to play with that and do all kinds of recording stuff, and I love it. I'm a lucky guy.
Yeah.
And tell them about Beautiful Losers. You just played the cut.
Well, us musicians who, didn't write the number one song, but helped to make it number one, we still have to work, and So no. I have a bunch of friends. Steve Baker from Beetlejuice, Brad Delp's band, and a whole bunch of other guys. It's an 8-piece band. We do a tribute. We do a tribute to Bob Seger, the music that we grew up with in high school, and tried to kiss girls or whoever you wanted to kiss. And it's called The Beautiful Losers, and we're out playing and having a great time.
To pay the bills.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. If you can still keep
it's
playing.
It's kind of funny how many musicians, active musicians, original musicians have to do the tribute acts on the side, if not as a main gig because they pay pretty well and it keeps you busy. People love to hear the old music, so it's good to be able to do both.
And you keep playing.
100% correct, Sean. Absolutely.
But
And I mean, we're musicians and drummers and this and that, and we have to play.
Absolutely,
yeah. The thing is the older you get, though, with playing drums a lot, like poor Mick Fleetwood, when Mick was telling me, he says, my back's getting really bad, and I can't play the drums like I used to. Then he goes and plays a wonderful set in Hawaii for this benefit for people, for the people of Hawaii again, where he's at, And I'm saying he's still playing like he used to. He's still playing like he's supposed to and stuff. Like he's not going to change.
Interesting you said it's interesting you said that, Dinky, because you can like show up to the gig and like, oh geez, oof, I'm not, and then you get on and you hear the music and the band and you play like you're 23.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's the key to the whole thing. That is the key to every one of us having longer life. Is doing what we best at in that respect. I mean, you guys
100%.
playing and Sean doing his thing with security booking and doing all that kind of stuff and looking after the musicians. For me, I'm just yachting now these days because of all my ill health. Other than that, we're still at it.
It's like Dinky's mentioned it many times. It was all about having fun. It was really it was a fun time to be doing what you're doing. It's always fun. You're involved doing something you love, which is obviously music.
Every band has
living,
fun.
There's no better job, right? I mean, it's having fun in the industry, whether it's on the stage, behind the stage, at the mixing board, doing the lights, working security, doing the hauling the gear in and out, selling the T-shirts, whatever it is, go on the road. It's a different kind of life, but it's an amazing life, and you can have you make some lifelong friends that become family, and it's funny because we've had so many folks from the channel back in that day that are still doing it. You mentioned Nashville. Look at Tommy Hambridge. He's been doing what he died for years.
Scott Perlman on production. Scott Perlman is down there from sound, did the channel and stuff. The big tall guy is really good. There's so many of you that really took into Nashville because it was the new booming place because it's being creative. It changes all the time. I mean, you've still got your bluegrass, you've still got your raw country, you've still got all those kind of things. But when you look at the new pop stuff that comes along, or the country rock, I mean, I always did the Birds and stuff, and when I was doing the Birds there, we'd end up getting trashed on White Lightning and doing all kinds of shows in Nashville. It was wonderful. And having Roger Miller take the sign down, said welcome Birds. The next day the sign was gone because we had some kind of explosion in the middle of the night with the canisters of foam.
Of course.
By
the way, I want to say this. Can I just? I want to say this. When I came back from Nashville after 33 years, and believe me, my wife did not want to go to Nashville from Boston. I told her we'd go for 5 years and we'd come back, and I make some friends and get to know people. But then things took off and went the way they did, and then it was like, well, hell no, I'm not scraping snow off the windshield anymore. So okay,
you just did.
Oh yeah, we did down. I'm in Florida right now.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, but it's freezing. It's freezing.
Yeah,
but listen, when I came back, I really wanted to. I was working on a record during COVID, and I got Kook and Don and David to play. As I was going along working on this thing, and the last person I got to get on was David. He played on a song that I duet on the record. 467 Surf and Gun Club is the record I'm talking about, and it's a duet with Leon Russell. And I don't know, Dinky, if you knew Leon on the road. Did you?
No, not to talk, not very well at all. I met him, but not well.
Well, he was my neighbor in Nashville, so we ended up, hanging out and writing songs, and then he recorded the chorus to a song we were writing. We never finished it, but I finished it for this album, and then I called David and said, "Can you play drums on this song that I'm duetting with Leon Russell?" And he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Don and Luke are already on it." And he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're getting the band back together." It's the old cliche. Now here we are 3-4 years later. we've put out 3 records since then. We're 70, not David. The other 3 of us are 70 years plus. And we're playing the same songs we played when we were 25, and we were playing them faster and louder. So we're having a ball. Really are.
Faster and louder.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's
I
awesome.
love that. I love that stuff.
Guys, Robert always forgets I'm 42.
Right out of the crib and into the band. And that's by the way, that's one of the things. So there was these once in a while these things on Facebook. Who's your favorite band of the Boston band of the '80s? And I saw one of these things, and I'm seeing all my friends. I'm seeing John Butcher. I'm seeing the Stomper Sal, and it's going to. And then one guy puts like, well, he's not a band, but Robert Ellis Orrell was a favorite of mine.
Wow.
But what I want to say is this: we have always been a band called Robert Ellis Orrell, and it's really weird because the next album we're working on another new record now. We're about 14 songs into it, and this one's going to be called The Name of This Band Is.
I like that.
Yeah, because we've always been a band. It's always been the same band. It's never been anything but. So,
So, Robert, you mentioned 33 years in Nashville. So you came back. It was about last 10 years or so, or even sooner than that.
I came back 5 years ago.
Wow.
We were up visiting friends and family like we always were in the summer. For the whole time I was in Nashville, in New England with family, friends, traveling companies, Cape Cod to Cape Ann to New Hampshire, Maine. We had friends everywhere. And we landed on this. My wife showed me this house that we knew in Manchester by the sea, that was built 12 feet from the railroad track for the station master of the Boston Maine Railroad back in 1889. And we recognized the house because we used to walk past it to the beach when we rented an apartment in Manchester in 1980. Oh. So we went to see it, and now we live in it.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, that's what brought us back.
But now you say you're living in Florida now. Where are you living in Florida?
Well, no, the house in Florida is, and we won't have. I'm hoping to meet with a real estate person this week. I'm sorry, but it's a little boring down here.
Yeah,
I would much. I really would rather be shoveling snow. So, but this is like a winter house where my whole family could meet up and stuff. But we rent it all the rest of the year, so we're not here very often.
What town?
Oh, it's in Old Seacrest, Florida, which is on the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Midway between Panama City and Destin.
Yeah. So you're not on the side of St. Augustine side. No. We have friends in St. Augustine. Also, some Channel people that live down there, like David. Brian
Washburn.
Brian Washburn and his wife there, Donna. They live down in St. Augustine, and I have a folky friend down there called Jim Carrick that worked with me with Spanky and our gang 10 years ago. We reformed Spanky, and I'd reformed the Mamas and Papas in the 80s. And then in 1980, then I came to the channel in 84, and I still had them play the channel, and I sort of quit after John got too drunk at one point. It was just they were creating. There was really good songs that they were writing. Mackenzie wrote us a song of In the Shower, really good stuff, and enjoyable. I mean, we did this one called Zulu Warriors that Mick Jagger and Keith Richards played on down in New York.
Nice.
And that kind of stuff. But it was fun because when I brought them to Plymouth, I brought them when we started recording in the middle of nowhere in Kingston, in this barn. And then I took them to another barn, and then they were having such good time down here. They did a whole album and what have you when we were down here. And then we put it back. It got stopped because I couldn't continue the way that it was handling on the road. After a while, it just got too crazy. And
too much, yeah.
You get too much, and then you get burned out from too much. You could try to solve everybody's problems at the same time, the sound and production and all that kind of stuff. And they were wonderful band that they picked up, wonderful people. But again, it was just getting too much with John's redoing his drinking again and what have you. As much...
You know, and by the way, speaking of writers, Tom Hambridge, this record that brought my band back together again, which is called 467 Surf and Gun Club. Tom Hambridge, he co-wrote one of the songs on that album. Actually,
Yeah.
he plays the drums on.
Tom's good. I had a recording I did in 1969 of Fleetwood Mac at the Shrine, not the auditorium, under the Shrine Exposition Hall. It's called. It was a giant car park underneath the place, and we opened for Frank Zappa, and we blew. Even though Frank became our friends, he was like, "Wow, y'all play better than those lot." But I recorded it, and it's called Shrine 69, and I got to number 1 in the blues charts with it. And then I started laughing. I said, "Tom's beat me. Tom beat me last week. He told me." But he deserves it for what he's done with those blues guys down in Nashville and in the South is phenomenal. Not just Buddy Guy's taking the wonderful man around the world. It's the musicians that he's been able to help coordinate to produce, just like you, Robert. You know, you're working with these people, and you've got their flavor to deal with, and you've got your own flavor to deal with. But if you marry them, it swings wonderful, like you and David have been doing for years. You wouldn't be doing it if you hadn't still, if both of you haven't felt the same way about things in the first place. We hit this one, and then this night was sucky, but that one's wonderful. And did you do that again? And then you remember that, and you want to go back and smoke another joint and say, "Wow, what happened here? This was really, and it's getting even better." And then look what you did.
Right.
You down there doing the thing for this young girl that made her very, very popular in the world. You know,
Right.
you got to take really proudness of that whole thing. You know. I would have instantly, and at the same time, let's get the old band back together. We're better than ever now.
You know? Exactly. There's nothing better. And by the way, we'll be at the Cut in Gloucester on August 7th.
Oh, there you go.
We were doing our show's 2 hours and 15 minutes long. So,
okay, channel people listening. These guys are playing the Cut. You better go see them and have fun.
That's a great new venue. One of the fewer venues that's opened up in the last few years. John Butcher acts will be there in the summer as well. There's a bunch of, like I said before, a bunch of acts still out there doing it. Robert, I know you guys did the show at the Cut. I think it was last year. It was like your first time playing. It was your first time playing there, but first time playing in the area for a while. I know you did a couple outdoor shows as well. Like the 4th of July, I think, and Marblehead. What other gigs have you guys had in the past year or so to get back together?
Yeah, so that was our second show at the Cut because we played the year before. We kind of do listen, we want to play. So anyone who's listening, hey, let's get these guys. But last year we did 4 shows. We headlined a festival up in New Hampshire called the Toodaloo. We had the Marblehead Festival of the Arts. There were 22 bands. We were the last of all those to go, and we had a ball doing that. That's a great show to get on and play. Just such a well-run festival. And then, of course, we do the Wild Horse Outdoor Concert Series every year. We'll be doing that again this year. But listen, we want to double up. We did 4 shows last summer. We want to do 8 this summer. So
okay, Sean.
And if I get rid of this house in Florida, then we can play through the winter.
This is the deal, Sean. It's time to book them at the Spire.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll get them a couple. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that's you. You get that together for these guys to come down here and play. People love that.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great venue.
Let's do it.
It's a fun old church.
I forgot the definitely.
You got phone coming in?
No, I said I'll reach out after we get off the call. I'll reach out to you guys. And we'll try and find a date down there for you.
All right, thank you, Sean.
That would be good.
Of course.
Anyway, we're going to have to close out soon here because we just got a 45 to 50 minutes hour thing going on. I'm sure there's tons more stories. But before we go, one more story from the channel, from both of you. Whom was the favourite out of town act that you saw in the channel and really enjoyed it?
I have a quick story. I'm not quite sure when it was. It might have been in the late '80s. There was a rumor that the Rolling Stones were going to appear someplace in Boston, and word got out that it might be the Channel. And my good friend, who's a wonderful musician and a comedian, he was over at Kiss 108 FM, Matty Siegel in the morning, Jimmy Del Ponte. He had this Cadillac black car that he and I used to ride around and vent to each other about our different grievances with this and that. And we drove to the Channel parking lot one day and got overwhelmed by a whole crowd of kids. They thought we were the Stones.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
We did it like 6 times more because we loved it.
I love it.
That's my story.
It's a good story. These stories are great, man. I mean, there's so many good ones.
And Dinky, I'll tell you, my favorite out-of-town act that I saw at the Channel, I'm going to come back to Steve Earle. I mean, that was a great room for him to play in because he really, even though he was a country artist, he was a rock and roller.
Yeah.
It was excellent. And what a perfect place for him to play. And it really did change my life to see Steve Earle there because it really made up my mind. Like, I'm out of here. I'm going to Nashville. I'm going to give it a shot. But, and also, I remember when there was, it's either the Phoenix or the Real Paper, I think it was the Phoenix, did a review of our second album. And they took a photograph. And it was after our show there at the Channel, they took a picture of me outside the door, and it was snowing. And there's big snowflakes. Frozen in time from the photograph. And that was the photograph that they used for the review. And I'll never forget that because I was like, oh, yeah, it was right after we played the Channel.
I love it.
Cool.
That's real cool.
The epitome of success.
Very cool.
That's very, very cool. I knew there was so many stories, even though I'd not seen on any of the lists that I have a lot of your shows in there. And I'm saying to Sean, I've only got 2 shows that I played. And then I'm saying, well, he went to Nashville and did his thing in Nashville. And
but Sean and Dinky, both of you, I got all these dates. In August 80, October 80, January 81, that's when that picture was taken. April of 81 and October of 82. And now you're telling me about the January of 83. Well, I got my dates from your website.
I didn't do a good job, Sean. I didn't do a good job.
No, I was gonna say because it's funny. We've had guests on, and they say, Dinky, how do you remember all those shows we did? Well, Dinky put this amazing database together. I sent you guys a link yesterday. And for anybody listening, bostonsbestliverock.com. It's about the Channel. You can go and pull up every show from the beginning to the end, all the bands that played on a Monday or Tuesday, all the headliners, the local bands, anybody and everybody that played there. And he compiled that because when the Phoenix, you mentioned the Phoenix, Robert, when the Phoenix shut down, the archives went to Northeastern University. And Dinky essentially tried, Dinky can tell the story better than I can, but he tracked it down and essentially got that database together so we'd have a reference to go back and look at all the bands that played there, which is incredible.
I went to actually the Phoenix that was still holding on in town to see Steve and his son there. But anyway.
Oh, goodness, I know you, Mindich.
Brad Mindich, Brad. And
yes, Brad,
basically, what I did is I took every single copy of the Phoenix from 1980 and went through everyone and copied them. I have file after file after file of what the ads were every time from the Channel. And that's how I compiled it, and then I inserted a couple of things here and there when people say, well, I played on that one, and I double checked, and I found on my sheet that they had, because I have all the production sheets from 84 on, mid-84 on. I've got all the people coming in. I've got all the riders from 84 when I started all the way through that Warren gave me. And what have you, because we worked off the riders, like Lemmy wanted all this really sexual things, do Ben Marble, this, that, and the other. So we gave him a plate of that for his lunch, and he freaked out. Where's my lunch? I said, and he said, all these Benmore ball and these little things rolling around. And he said, I said, that's what's on your rider. Well, that was a joke. And I says, so Whalers, here we come. Do you want Chinese? A really good Chinese? Yeah, no problem. So, no, it was fun. It was a fun place. It's missed because it's just the biggest room in town. Even with little bands that we came on, even with people that weren't known and what have you. But you had your stuff going on, Robert, since the 70s, late 70s. And
Yeah.
I'd heard of you before and as a songwriter and stuff, but I didn't know. And then I saw these things. I said, "Oh, he did play the channel. Look, he did that. He did this." And then when I heard that David had played drums on there, I was like, "Whoa, David's got a list and stuff that he's done too. You know, wow, let's do this." Anyway, we better close off here and just every one of you
it's
say.
Been a real pleasure. It's a real pleasure. Please give our best to Tony and you all keep doing what you're doing, because this is keep that spirit of literally the 80s are the best era of rock in Boston history, and to keep this alive is really, really important, and that's why we're out playing the same songs we played back in 1983. So
and they sound better now because they're more mature. Well, let's put it that way.
That's right. And I'd just like to chime in, Dinky, Sean, and Tony. God bless you. Thank you for including me on this show. This is awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that you did.
This.
I'm glad that you did.
Thanks,
because when Sean told me David wanted to come on here, I looked. I said, "Well, get David's number. I will right away." That's it. And to have a four-way conversation is great.
If you guys have a cooking show, I can come on that too.
Well, thank you guys for making the time to join us today. It's been a lot of fun.
Definitely.
absolutely.
Thank you again.
All.
And here's 2 pints. We call it 2 pints in a corner. 2 pints in a corner is now closing out from.
Cheers.
There's Robert Ellis Harrell. There's a cheers. Have a good one. And there's David having a good time and Stefani on there with Sean. And Sean.
Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. That was fun, man.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.